Okay, I have 34 slides, so this will be almost animated, I think. Let's see here. Right, I will talk about lean marketing. I will start up by showing you this fellow. His name is John Wanamaker. He was a merchant back in the early 20th century, and he coined this term: half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. So waste is, of course, something we don't like in lean, right? But in the matter of fact, this is what marketing has looked like throughout the entire 20th century. You could almost call it the Wanamaker era, where you plan for a long time, and then you do a big campaign, and then you measure the result. It's almost a little waterfall-y, you might say. And actually, I read an article just a few days ago, and this is actually still true. Half of what companies put into marketing is still wasted, 100 years after Wanamaker. So what about lean development? Like, for example, the Scrum product owner role. Actually, I would like to call that almost like the oracle of a Scrum team, because this role is supposed to know everything about the market, everything about the customer, sort of like the oracle knows about the matrix. So this is what a product release can look like. You have an engineering team, they build some, I don't know what it is, chili fruits. You market it in a campaign, and it goes to the sales channels. It can look almost like this, sort of. If you're lucky, you have an oracle figure somewhere who tries to communicate back to the development team what the market is telling them what to do. Actually, I think this is a pretty common organization structure, where you have like sort of the Grand Canyon between tech and marketing, right? And the oracle is in between. Have you seen this before? Do you recognize this? And actually, well, there are more parts of the organization like this. There can be 3 or 4. It's almost like a silo structure, most companies today. So there we have it. This is what a company today looks like. You have an oracle zooming around in the company, trying to catch business requirements and market requirements. The company is organized in silos, and you waste half your marketing budget. Not very good, right? So, lean marketing to the rescue. Or actually, someone preferred the term growth hacking. It sort of depends on what angle you come from. If you're from the marketing department, you call it lean marketing. If you're from technical department, you call it something else. It's basically just, I mean, we recognize this, right? It's test market assumptions, have short feedback loops, and a strong focus on the product. So, you remember this? The Wanamaker era way of doing marketing, where you do a big cost at the beginning of a project, and then you hope for the best. It's like the underpants gnomes in South Park. You hope for the best, and if you're lucky, you get a return later on. Well, if you do it the lean marketing way, it's more like this. You do a little investment, and you get data back. Hopefully, you even make sales. And then you grow it. And since you're doing it, since you're constantly testing your assumption, you can go in different ways. You don't really know where you end up. And of course, this is impossible unless you have a tight and lean organization. If you have 6 month or 1 year or 3 months delivery cycles, you can't do this. So it relies on a lean development organization. Just a few examples of very simple tools that you can use to do this. You can buy AdWords just to test something. You buy AdWords on Google for an idea or a product or a concept, and just see how many clicks on this. Which which angle or which product leads to the higher number of clicks. This is an example where I will try to write a book about Drupal next year, and I put on an advertising campaign to see if there was a market for it. Another way to do is to do A/B testing. It's when you have on your website, you have different versions of your website, and you see which version drives the higher conversion, which is which one reaches your goals better. I think what the gentleman before us talked about is very important for this, where you can even have two different versions of the same site up and running at the same time. Can you do that? Sort of. An MVP is a minimum viable product. This is basically you build a very, very small version of the full experience. This is the very, very early days of a famous social networking site today with a beautiful logo. But it actually contains most of the features that Twitter today has. And this was probably built over like a weekend or something. So it's a very rapid way of testing your idea. So instead of an oracle, we rely on data. Instead of silos, we have to do it with cross-functional teams, and I mean cross-functional not in the sense that you have designers and testers and developers. It's cross-functional, business cross-functional. It's customer service, marketing, R&D. They should work together. And hopefully Wanamaker is a little bit more happy because we reduced the waste in marketing. And as the marketing guru Seth Godin points out, this is really what happens when you put the product at the center of your organization. This is almost like a natural consequence of that. This is just some further reading if you want to read more about this. This is metrics for pirates, the AARRR, it's like R. Acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. That's a model you can use to measure your traffic on your site. And again, Mr. Godin, the product at the center, the circles around it. And another one about growth hacking. So, actually, that was my 34 slides.